What's going on, my good people? It's your boy Jay Fry. Today we're outside in my small backyard garden where I'm going to be planting 5 cool weather crops. So hang out with your boy for a minute and check it out. As you know, I've been working on gardening year-round, and to get a good fall harvest, I'm going to start 5 crops from seed right now in mid-August. And for reference, I'm here in Texas Zone 8B, where our first frost date usually hits around mid-November. And I also use the Farmer's Almanac to kind of give me a guide on when I can plant and what I can plant. Let's go ahead and take a look at the areas where I'm going to be planting my seeds at. So the first bed we're going to be planting in is this Vigo Garden raised bed, where you guys just saw me add fresh soil from our local recycler. And the second bed over here, I just topped it off with some of the leftover mix, which is just a blend of compost, sand, and pine bark mulch. Now I already came out here and watered everything down, kind of wet it up a little bit, and the only thing I'm going to add to it is some plant tone. This is a 533, which it should help give the seeds a good start once they start to grow. So let me go ahead and spread this around, and then we'll start planting. Alright, so we got our fertilizer added to the bed and raked in a little bit, and I also re-watered the top. That way it can already be kind of moist a little bit. And the first thing we're going to plant today is going to be these collard greens. So these are a Georgia Southern collard green. So I really want at least 6 strong plants. So I'm going to plant in one area, and I'm going to kind of broadcast a little bit in this area and keep the strongest 6 plants, and the rest of them I'll just plant somewhere else or just give away. So the seeds, all these seeds almost look alike when it comes to the collards and whatever else the brassicas. So this is it. I'm gonna go ahead and get these planted, then we'll be on to the next. Alright, so we got our collard greens planted. The next thing that we're going to plant is also a cold hardy plant, just like the collard green, and you can also plant it in the spring and the fall as well. It's going to be a kale. I think this is a veil kale, which I got from the seed pack that I purchased, and then a lacinato kale, which I don't have many seeds of, but I'm going to go ahead and plant the rest of them anyway. So I'm going to pretty much do the same thing with the kale, because the seeds are similar to the collards, where they're this small, they don't need to be planted very deep. So I'll just broadcast these in this area, cover them up a little bit, and we'll go from there. I didn't have enough of the lacinato kale, but I had plenty of the other ones. But this is one of those things I can still come out and plant like at the end of the month or early September as well. I'm just trying to get a good start on it. Alright, so we got our kale and our collards planted in this raised bed. The last thing that we're going to plant is going to be this Swiss Chard, which is a rainbow blend, and the rest of the bed I'll leave for if we have good germination. I can move some of the other plants around or to add something to it later. But these things, they can be planted as well right now or beginning of September. But I'm gonna go ahead and get a start on these early, because it seems like they take a little while to grow versus some of the other things. And the seeds on these, they kind of look like these kind of look like beet seeds. Now I don't know if I should have soaked these in water or not. I didn't do it last time and they germinated pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these planted. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next bed where I'm gonna plant some of my root veggies, and it requires the soil to be a little bit loose and fluffy. So I believe this soil is loose and fluffy enough, but we're gonna find out. But the next thing I'm gonna plant in this bed, the root veggies, is gonna be some carrots that I got from a seed pack. Now the carrots can be kind of tricky when it comes to planting those and getting those to germinate, but I have a way that I did it and it worked out for me once before, so I'm gonna try it again. So let me go ahead and get these carrots in place. All right, so because I already moistened the soil, all I'm gonna do is come in and put some cardboard boxes over the top. Then I'll make sure to dampen this up and keep it damp. All right, so I got my carrot seeds planted, and what I did was I just put this cardboard box here, and I'll make sure to keep it kind of moist. That way the seeds will germinate, which will usually take between 10 to 20 days or something like that. And as soon as I see the first 1 or 2 seeds start to germinate, then I'll remove that. The next root crop that we're going to be planting are beets. Now I have 2 varieties of beets. I hadn't grew either one of these, but the first one is this Touchstone Gold beet, and the other one is a Kiaga beet, something like that. I don't know, but you see it. That's the one right there. So I'm going to make sure to plant these. I'm going to plant these on one side and the other one on the other side. And the beets are one thing, like I say, they are a superfood that I think are the best. So I'm going to make sure to keep those in rotation. So I'm going to go ahead and get these beets planted. As I mentioned before, the chard seeds look like the beets. They all look alike, so they will come in clusters. Now I'm not sure if I'm gonna thin these out. I know the last time I thinned them out, they turned out pretty good, so I might thin this side out and may not thin the other side out, just so I can have another test. But let me go ahead and get all of my beets planted, and then we'll move on to the last thing that I'm gonna go ahead and plant. All right, so we have our fall crops planted and watered in. I'll come back in on this bed over here and put a shade cloth over the top of it to keep it from drying out. And for this Vigo raised garden bed, it has a cover system that I'm getting ready to install on it. So make sure to stay tuned or hit the notification to see that next video. I also have one more thing that I'm going to be planting today. It's not a cool weather crop, but I'm hoping to get a good harvest before the first frost hits. So I already have some growing, but I just realized that I didn't grow enough. I need about 15 to 20 plants per person, so I'm going to drop some more seeds. Let's take a look at what I got going on. All right, so the next crop that we're going to be planting are pink-eye purple hull peas, which is what I have right here. But like I said, I realized that I need about 10 to 15 plants per person, so I have a whole section where I'm going to actually plant some more, and that should be enough if I can get them to germinate and do their thing before the first frost date. So these peas, they've been growing like crazy, so I'm hopeful when I plant them again that I'll start to get plenty of them. All right, so I went ahead and soaked the peas overnight, so they should be ready to go ahead and plant. Now this area right here is probably not the ideal area to plant purple hull peas because they need full sun and we don't get it here. But I'm gonna go ahead and plant it here anyway. And if anything, with the nitrogen from the peas, it'll help the soil out. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant these seeds here. And yeah, I'm gonna have to step inside the soil a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so I got that watered in, but I did forget to add my fertilizer to it, which this one is a 344. It has less nitrogen, but I can always come back in and add that on later on. All right, so that's pretty much it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and help your boy grow. And if you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. I'll holla at you.